without the people who provide the money. But Honorable Minister, I also want you to address the issue on the money for maintenance of the rural roads, the village roads, the 1 billion shillings. We have that money.
Yes, that one went.
That money. In the same districts, we also have UNRA roads, formerly UNRA roads. What is the way forward? Can you guide these people that they must also maintain these roads where possible? Because you cannot just abandon a road and say this is UNRA road, and yet you're able to maintain. If it requires us to add money to the district for them to maintain the roads, let them maintain the roads. You will not wait for Minister of Works to go and maintain these roads. There was an issue, the issue of PAPs, the project affected persons. You find most of these figures are inflated. Is it possible for us to standardize the valuations so that we have, and I think there is the valuation bill in the committee. When that valuation bill in the committee comes, we should be able to do something to avoid having figures that, inflated figures for POPs.
Right, Honorable Speaker, there's a generic issue which for me is beyond finance. It's good the government chief whip is here. Government has been propagating the Bubu policy, buy Uganda, build Uganda. Some of the contractors that the minister is talking about are local contractors. These people's companies are closing down. They go to banks after you have given them a contract. So they go and secure a loan, a credit facility, on account of that. But because they are not getting payment from government, their businesses are closing down, the young people they are employing, joblessness and so on. Government, you can't say one thing and then do another. I get perplexed whenever these so-called foreign investors, they come here, we give them free land. We give them tax waivers. Of late, we are guaranteeing them money. I don't know what kind of investors those are that will give you land, tax waivers, and then we guarantee you money and you call yourself an investor. But we have our local investors who are going to make sure this money here gets recycled within our economic platform, if you like. Why? Maybe government needs to help us. That this Bubu thing was only for we, the citizens, that when you go to the market, buy Ugandan products. But you, government, you do not want, you want to preach water and then drink wine. You cannot tell us to buy Ugandan products, and yet you are stifling Ugandan businesses. You should be prioritizing that. For me, right, Robo, that's not a question for Minister of Finance. It's a question for government generally.
It is actually connected to finance because the areas to be paid, the areas paid to the people who have worked. Honorable Minister, when you talk about the roads that you really need to, that were suspended, I want you to include Busunju, Kiboga, Hoima Road, because this is a road that is going to be checked by CAF for us to be able to host AFCON. So you need to prioritize on that road. If you're talking about 30 billion, that is little money. You should be able to get that money, and that's a local contractor where we even gave him money. That was Abubakar. We gave that local contractor our own money as government. Then you also look at the issue of, did we budget for the equipment for districts that don't have equipment, cities? Did we budget for it?
Which were identified as excessively big, and so one unit was not enough for them. And then also, you remember when we bought the equipment, we did not address the cities and municipalities and town councils. We have already provided the requirement to the Minister of Finance, and they told, the last I heard is that it has been put in the system, possibly to use the same arrangement we used in buying the 1,151 which we distributed, so that they can get those equipment. That's
Honorable,
about the equipment. About Busunjukivoga Road and the contractor, Right Honorable Speaker, even when you look in some of the documents which I've given, where we spent the 420 billion, priority was given to local contractors. We gave them priority in paying for their IPCs. So we recognize their challenges because these are people whom we interface with nearly every day through their body, UNAPSEC, and we did give them some sizable amount. According to what we call the certificates which they are presented, we don't pay up front, we pay when the certificates are there.
Honorable Minister, yesterday I talked about a road from Mbarara to Bushenye. It is basically potholes. As we wait for money to work on the whole road, why don't you just work on those smaller potholes so that the road is usable? Just like the way you're working on Kampala Jinja.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker, we are now in that process. We started with the Karaji Road, which had also gone deteriorated. Now we are doing Jinja. We are left only with, I think, 1 or 2 sections at Uriantete and somewhere near Chigombia. When we finished, Mavira was done. I think there's a section in Mavira which we need, where the Kenyans got an accident when we were doing the pilgrimage. So we are in that process, Right Honorable Speaker. We want to reduce on contracting for every simple work. I remember we had potholes between Mijera and Kafu, and those were done by ourselves. The unit went and treated those potholes. When we move from Jinja Road, we intend to move to Chegegwa, between Chegegwa and Chenjojo, because that section has also greatly deteriorated. No, the Kabarimbarara Road has a contractor. The Kabarimbarara Road has a contractor who's working on it.
First of all, I want to thank the minister for being honest and for the report. But yesterday, when we halted the minister from presenting the report, you did ask members to give additional information for them to clarify. I found that missing from the minister's presentation. Maybe his colleague did not give him those issues. So now that we are going to have a discussion.
Can you, all of you, write those additional issues? Get all the concerns of the members?
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to raise this point of procedure. I believe this is a house of record. If issues were raised on the floor of the house, they are captured by the Hansard. And therefore, members who did their part yesterday, the minister should be...
We are going to extract them from the Hansard,
yes,
and give to the minister.
Most obliged.
And even the ones who still have other issues.
Most obliged.
Like you who was not in the house.
Most obliged.
You was not in the house yesterday.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
You'll give, we capture it so that we now give the minister, when we are going for a debate, we have an exhaustive debate and we get a way forward as an institution.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker, as I exhaust my point of procedure, there are issues which the minister may not need to wait on. For instance, you raised the issue of UNRA roads, the roads which UNRA was working on, like trunk roads. I have 2 roads in my constituency. One is from Mabale, Burora, Rugashali to Chenzige. Another one from Mohoro, Cheterekera, and Daiga. UNRA has been maintaining it before they abolished UNRA. And recently, we gave the entire budget of UNRA to Ministry of Works. Ministry of Works have escaped, and they are saying, we have no money. Where is the money that we gave you under when you were taking over UNRA?
Honorable member, I have the accountability of the monies that were
He's talking
transferred.
about these suspended
Please,
tarmac roads, not these trunk roads which our
the-
people are using.
Honorable members, I believe all of you are